All right. Buenos dias, Español dos. It is good to see you guys again. I know we all probably just caught up in the beginning of our Zoom, but let's get right back into the swing of things. So, this week could either be really easy or kind of difficult for you, depending on how well prepared you are with Chapter 4. So, as usual, look here for our Zoom times. They'll always be posted there. Our class format is still posted. Here's the schedule. The vocabulary is still here if you need that for studying, because you will need to have some understanding of the vocabulary when we take the Chapter 4 test this week. Do not panic. We're going to be well prepared. So Monday screencast, we're doing that right now. Chapter 4 review, what to study. We'll go over that in just a minute. And then Wednesday's lesson will be a live extra credit practice test. So we're going to do something called Zoom Pro polling. It'll be done during the Zoom. It'll be really, really great review for you guys. And I'll give you a point of extra credit on your Chapter 4 test if you choose to come by. You have 3 warm-ups, or not really. Monday is just a warm-up of each section. So Chapter 4, Section 1 is warm-up A, B is Section 2, then C is Section 3. Okay? Wednesday, I'm going to be posting the study guide answers. Please work on the study guide today and on Tuesday. That will be my best suggestion so that you can check your answers on Wednesday. If you wait until Wednesday, you just fill in the answers for your study guide. That doesn't really do you any good. So please start doing it today and tomorrow. And then Friday, you're just going to write the Spanish word of the day in English and then use it in the sentence and the subjunctive. Super easy. The activity 1 is to do the study guide. That is right here. It's just screenshots from the textbook. You guys have seen this before. We've done a couple activities like this already. You have the questions here. So activity 2 right here, activity 3 right here, then activity 4 right here. This is going to take you a little bit. Just do the answers here, like do activity 1 and then put a space, then 1, and then just write in the answers, okay? If it needs you to do complete sentences like actividad 4 right here, do it. Write out the incomplete sentence, okay? If you need help with these, if you're looking at these right now and you're like, or later when you look at this study guide and if you're looking at it and you don't know what is going on, I will help you. After Wednesday's Zoom or tomorrow, just whenever, shoot me an email. We can do some one-on-one Zoom time so I can help you guys get up to speed and get ready for this Chapter 4 test that is due Friday. We're going to go over that next. So, overview of Chapter 4 from the textbook. We have the subjunctive with verbs of emotion. These are all the expressions of emotion that you need to be familiar with. Most of them you already know. Then the subjunctive with doubt, disbelief, or denial. So to doubt something, no es verdad, es imposible. These are your expressions used with the subjunctive. And then the opposite of expressions of doubt are expressions of certainty. So you use with the indicative, which is the fancy word for regular present tense. So to not doubt, to be certain, to be sure of something. It is true that, it is obvious that, es obvio. Okay, that is the present tense. And then this last part, you're using the infinitive after prepositions like antes de, para, and sin when there is no change of subject. So what do they mean by this? Te llamamos antes de salir de casa. Let's look at these two differences. The first one means we will call you before leaving the house. There's no indication of subject change. It's just a general statement towards someone. I'm going to call you before leaving the house. The second example, look here. Same preposition, but now we're using the subjunctive instead of the infinitive, and I'll tell you why. Te llamamos mañana antes de que salgas. Antes de que. So this que right here, it changes the subject. So look what we have here now. This means we will call you tomorrow before you leave. Te llamamos mañana antes de que salgas. So that que indicates we are now talking to someone. And then look at the way salgas is conjugated, the as. That is the subject change, the to form. So we will call you before we leave. Subjunctive is used. Te llamamos mañana antes de que tú salgas. Okay? The tu is already implied with the way the conjugation ends up. Salgas, as ending. Great. And then conjunctions used with subjunctive or indicative. It depends if there is a subject change. You guys will see that in the study guide. Then I guess I don't need this anymore. The Chapter 4 test will be much like you guys remember the activity from last week? I can go to that actually. The activity from last week where I had you guys do like a little Zoom video together and you guys talk to one another. It'll be a lot like that. So you'll pull up a prompt like this. You'll click on it. I haven't made it yet because I want to see how well you guys do with the study guide, and then kind of after the practice test on Wednesday, guide the test based on how I'm feeling you guys are doing with that. So it's going to be much like this activity where you and your partner are answering complete sentences. Okay, this is, instead of it just being an assignment though, this will be like your chapter 4 test. And then in addition to this, there will be a section of the test. This is the only part that you haven't done before that is different. This is what I'm having my Spanish 1A students do as well. You're going to do like a what I learned in here is an example of what I learned, kind of like paragraph. It's not necessarily, it doesn't necessarily need to be in Spanish, but it'll be something like this. So you'll go, you'll write chapter 4, lesson 1. You'll go, I learned blank, and then you'll give me an example. Okay. Chapter 4, lesson 2, same thing. Okay. So this is just is going to show me that you learned something from the last few weeks. You have all the notes right here in the study guide. It's titled Overview. You have all the notes right here. You'll just be able to look at this, and if you understand it, you'll be able to say, I learned this. I learned how to use verbs and expressions of emotion in chapter 4, section 1. Chapter 4, section 2, I learned how to use a subjunctive with doubt, and then the expressions of certainty I use with the regular present tense. Okay, so nothing too difficult. This won't take you as long. What might be a little more difficult is being able to do this correctly. Obviously, you can't use Google Translate because this is the test part. I will know if you do, just because it'll use weird words. Please do your best. Find a partner that will help you, that'll work with you appropriately, and that you got a partner that will want you guys both to succeed. Other than that, I don't really have much else for you guys. This week is pretty easy, like I said, depending on if you studied or not, or if you know chapter 4 well enough or not. Okay, it's great to be back. Adios. Let me know if you have any questions.